All right, guys, welcome back to the show. We're going over UFC Vegas 65. A couple of heavyweights. The main event, Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. First, let's say thank you to our sponsor, Tampa Blessed, Home Team Do Good, TampaBlessed.com for more information about that. Let's get right into it, though. We got Derek Lewis, ranked number 7. He's a plus 165 dog in this fight. He's 37 years old. He's 26-10, won no contest. And he's won out of his last 3 with a loss to Sergey Pavlovich, who's a bad man making his way up the rankings, Tai Tuivasa, and Cyril Gane. And his last victory was Chris Daukaus a few fights ago. He's going up against Sergey Spivak, ranked number 12, minus 195 favorite, 27 years old. That is a young buck for the heavyweights. He's 15-3, beat Augusto Sagai and Craig Hardy last, and his only 3 losses in his entire career. Listen to this. Tom Aspinall, no shame there. Marcin Tybura, who shows forms of greatness. He's not normally right there, but he's top. And his UFC debut was Walt Harris, who we know hits like a freight truck. Very tough debut. Looks better and better. Tom, Black Beast versus the Polar Bear here. I got the title. We got some superheroes versus villains here. Who's winning?
Yo, I love it, man. Like you said, Derek Lewis, he only has 1 win in his last 4 fights, and that was against Daukaus. Derek has been to championship rounds to the 4th round only twice. Spivak has never been past the 3rd round. So I don't really see this fight going to a decision. But I would say the fight, though, that I would say is I'm leaning towards not going to the decision even more is the Maia fight. But this one, if they do go to decision, it'll be new territory for both of them because they both have never seen a 5th round. Spivak has never even seen a 4th round. If Spivak can get Lewis to the ground, which Spivak likes to do, he likes to get you down and beat on you and finish the fight right there, I think Lewis is in trouble. But Lewis has proved to be very difficult to get to the ground. Even Blades couldn't get him to the ground, really. And he likes to defend the takedown with that uppercut, so you got to be careful. Spivak's got to be very wary of that. I'm sure he's watching plenty of footage. He's well aware of what he's getting into here. If this ends up being a standing bout, it's anybody's guess, really. Whoever gets caught harder. Either one of these dudes could go down. Derek Lewis is capable of putting anybody out. And Spivak can put out Lewis as well. I'm really up in the air. I think a big portion is, can Spivak get him down? If they're just going to bang, I'm kind of leaning towards Derek here. TKO round 1 or 2. I'm going to go with Derek.
All right.
Get him back on the horse. If he doesn't get this, Derek might retire, or he almost becomes a gatekeeper.
Yeah, listen, you can't say Derek can't win. Let's put it that way. That just is not one of those statements you could say. I feel, though, my opinion, I think Lewis is slowly getting on his way out here. He doesn't look the same. He's made it very clear in all his interviews, too, that he fights for the money, not for the love of the sport, which is also a big factor. If you don't have passion, you're just going out there for the paycheck. It matters. That being said, we know he can sleep anyone that gets inside the octagon with him, no question. I like Sergey here, though. I think his stand-up is improving greatly. Every time we see him out, he looks better and better on his feet. He's still young, and he can wrestle. He gives everyone fits in the division with wrestling that doesn't put him out like Aspinall with just insane quick hands there. I know what you're thinking. As you mentioned, Lewis and Blades, he put him out with that KO, but Spivak doesn't shoot for the double leg like that. That's not. He's
Right.
more like a Greco-Roman. He wants to get in clinch and try to get a toss on you, try to get around you, try to throw you to the ground. He's not looking for that double leg and out. Even though we saw a long time ago now when DC fought Derek Lewis, man, his hammer fists hurt even if you got a single leg or something on him. The guy's got serious power. Either way, I'm picking Sergey Spivak head.
DC subbed him, though. He took him to the ground.
No, I know, but he was taking some big shots, taking him to the ground.
I know. Yeah.
You could tell he did not
Lewis
like that.
not easy to get down.
No.
If Lewis ends up getting taken down by Spivak, he's in big trouble.
Big trouble.
But the question is, can you get him down?
No, I agree, but I like Spivak either way. Either way, I'm taking Spivak. Spivak's my pick. And I'll tell you what, if you guys are sprinkling a little on this, we'll put it that way. This is not what that's about. We can't tell you what to do. Not financial advice here. But I'd also be taking Lewis by KO because that's his one way to victory. He's not going to win a decision here versus a heavy wrestler. It's just not going to happen, chances are. So I'd be taking the KO on the other side at the end. I'd be hedging out. All right, but anyways, card market goes. Derek Lewis strong.
Well, you didn't say what. Hold up. Where's your pick at?
My pick, Sergey Spivak. I don't know.
I know that. When?
I think he finishes him in round number 3. I think he gets him to the ground,
Right.
and I think he goes to work. He might get him to the ground in round 1, but Lewis is very strong even on the ground where he can normally get up at least once or twice. He's very powerful down there. So I just don't love that. He's crafty. He's crafty. He doesn't have the passion anymore is my thing. So
if I was going to put anything on this one, it would just be simply not picking anything. It would just be saying that this would be a finish.
Yep. All right. Well, strong following for Lewis in the card market. I say take advantage of that and sell. He's getting older. Competition is definitely getting better in the heavyweight division. For a long time, it was very weak, very stagnant. Now these young bucks are really coming up. They're big, they're athletic, they're good. Guys like Gant, guys like Aspinall, guys like Sergey Spivak. They just look better and better. At this point in his career, too, I feel like Derek Lewis is probably never going to become champion.
And that other dude, too, Almeida.
No, there's a ton. He's not even a heavyweight, though. He's a light heavyweight, technically, Almeida.
I know, but he was fighting heavyweight.
Yeah, he'll take those guys on. The guy's a savage. Sergey Spivak just printed. I got to put him as a speculation buy, man. I mean, all his losses were to tough opponents. Like I said, that was a debut for Walt Harris. All right, you lost to Aspinall, but you're both very young. At 27, as a heavyweight, and you see his improvements every time out. The guy's even learning English because he knows he can make more money and have more crowd around him. The guy's smart with it. This guy's looking.
He's got a future.
This guy's looking to improve. The guy looks better and better. So spec buy on Spivak, just printed. Don't sleep on him yet. Let's see what else he's got in the tank. All right, moving on to one of my favorite fighters. We didn't cover him last time because he hasn't been looking great, but we're going to the light heavyweights here. We got Kennedy Nchukwu, minus 175 here. He's the favorite. He's 30 years old, 10-3, and he last beat Carl Roberson. And his last fight, I thought he got ripped off. He had a split decision loss to Nikao Nurmagomedov, and he lost to Daun Jung before that. And he's going up against Kutalaba. So we got African Savage versus the Hulk. Some more villains and superheroes here. Plus 150 underdog, 28 years old, 16-8, 1 no contest, 1 draw. And he's won out of his last 6 fights, losing to Johnny Walker, Ryan Spann, and his only victory in there was Devin Clark, which wasn't even overly impressive of a victory, to be honest with you. Now, Tom, does Kutalaba get this one done early? Because that's where he's the most dangerous here. I know you're not picking Kutalaba in the 3rd round or something crazy like that. That's just not how this guy rolls. But can he get the African Savage out of there in the 1st round? What do you think?
I mean, of course it's possible. I mean, I was just stunned. Honestly, I forgot how young Ian was. He's only 28. I thought Kennedy was younger than him. Kennedy's 30. Ian is a worn-up 28. Wow. I couldn't believe he was 28 years old, man. He's been through some battles, the Hulk. You know, I'm not leaning towards a finish in the 1st round by Ian here. The other thing you got to look out for, though, is Kennedy's got an 8-inch reach advantage. If he actually uses that, he could be, incredible. But, I haven't really seen him utilize it to the best of his advantage, his length. If he starts getting better with that, he could be a real problem. I'm still, I'm going with what's the line here?
Minus 175 for Kennedy.
I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Ian Kutalaba, but I'm going against what you thought. I think he's going to grind out a decision victory.
Woo! No way. No way on that one. But you guys know I love Kennedy. This is an easy pick for me. Nchukwu's got the endurance. He's got a super good chin. He's got strong enough wrestling to keep up with Kutalaba, at least for the 1st round. And if he could finally find the gas pedal, my man Kennedy needs to move forward and not backwards. I think he finishes it in round 1. Hopefully his game plan, though, is to wrestle with Ian back and forth and tire him out, because Kutalaba has problems outside of round 1 almost every fight, and that's what we're seeing every single time he goes past his first round, he's losing basically. I think the size, the reach advantage is going to be on full display right here from my man in Chukwu. I think Kutalaba is potentially very close to being cut. Maybe with a loss here, I don't know. I don't know how many are left on his contract, but he has not lived up to the height. I think we see him going like the PFL or something where he could be a champion over there soon. Right? And then maybe even return. He's so young, 28, 3-4 years PFL, become a champ, come back over if you look that good. You just don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to come back over. Some guys don't. Some guys do. If you really want to be the best, you got to come back over.
Or scenario number 2, beat Kennedy and stay in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but he's got to get more than one win, I think, to stay in there. But to me, we haven't seen Kutalaba improve at all. Every time out there, he looks the same. He doesn't look like his game. First, Devin Clark, he looked okay, right? But other than that, we really haven't seen any new pieces from him. He hasn't looked sharper. He hasn't looked smarter. His wrestling looks the same. It hasn't been that way. Where Kennedy, you can see improvements. He just needs to step on the damn gas pedal. Maybe even get a new coach. I don't know. But, easy pick. I'm taking the KO by Chukwu. Now, as far as the card market goes, no-brainer. If you're 1 out of 6, you are a mandatory sell rating. He's not beating any top 15 guys here at this point in his career. He's young, but he's just not improving. All right? Go watch his fights. He's not looking better. I think he maybe, if he really wants to stick around, should consider moving down to middleweight. He's a big guy, but he's not that big. He's a lot shorter than these guys.
He's not that big.
If he takes off a little bit of muscle and really works at it, I mean, the guy's in phenomenal shape, so I'm sure he could do it. Maybe he needs to go down a little bit where he'll be a bigger, stronger guy. And maybe his gas tank will be a little bit better if he takes off some of that muscle. Just throwing that out there. Now, Kennedy, printed in 2022, sells for peanuts. I think if his coaches can get him on track, he's a problem for a lot of guys. They got to do it soon, though. He's 30. They really got to find that rhythm for this guy, get him to move forward and not stand there. But I'm taking the spec buy on Chukwu here, man. I think if he turns it around, I think he can really climb fast. Light heavyweight division might be the weakest division in the UFC right now. If you really go through all the other divisions, it might be the weakest. All right, moving right on. We got welterweights. Not a weak division right now. This division's looking pretty damn good. Jack Della Maddalena, minus 490 favorite here. He's 26 years old. He's 12-2. He's on a 12-fight winning streak. He's 12-2, 12-fight winning streak, guys. This guy has not been beaten in forever. And he's knocking dudes out. Takes out Ramazan Ameev. Takes out Pete Rodriguez, who's known for taking guys out. He's going up against Hot Chocolate, Danny Roberts, plus 390 underdog here. 35 years old, 18-6. In his last fight, we know he lost to Francisco Old Man Trinaldo, and he also beat Ramazan Ameev before that. Tom, I mean, this is a 9-year age difference here. Normally there's a stat for that. It's like automatically like 65% win for Jack in that category, just being that much younger. What do you see happening, though?
Yeah, but 35 is right on the edge. It's not crazy old either. You know, that's right on kind of. There's a lot of top fighters 35 and above, you know, at pretty much most weight classes. You know, they're right around there. So I don't see it as being a huge disadvantage. The advantage to him is experience, and I don't think he's too far over the hill where the experience is like outweighed by his age being like a deficit, being like, you know, a negative impact on him. Almeida would be the same, you know, he'd be, or not Almeida, Jack DM, I'm going to call him. Jack DM, he has the thing where he's younger, but he's old enough to where he has enough experience to where maybe his youth is not, you know, a detriment to him as well.
Well, I mean, look, Roberts got beat by Old Man Trinaldo, who we don't even. I think most people don't even believe how old he says on his thing. What is he, like 42 or 43? He's one of the older men in the UFC. Yeah, and he brings it.
I want to say
he brings it.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to say 44, honestly, because we looked that one up, and the only guy at the time that was older than him, I think, was
Olenek.
Yes, Olenek, exactly. I'm going with Jack here, though. That all said, Danny Roberts is super tough, though. I think it's going to be hard to get rid of him in the first round. I'm going to go with Jack by strikes round 2 or 3. Jack, though, if you look at his career, he lost his first 2 pro fights and hasn't lost since. He's been 12 in a row, like Mark said, and he hasn't lost since 2016. So he's been on a roll considering, he was 20 years old in 2016.
Right. No, absolutely. I just want to start and say I think Roberts is more of a fraud to me. He was highly touted. He does not live up to that at all. And I think the big factor here is Jack has that forward pressure fighting style, which is really going to eliminate a lot of Roberts' normal game plan, which is to try to take people apart from the outside here. So I think that forward pressure is going to really hurt Roberts in this one, and Jack's just going to grind him forward here. I think Jack steamrolls this one. I think we're going KO round number 1. I just don't.
Nice.
Even as tough as he is, I think this kid Jack is pretty real. I don't even want to say this is a step up in competition either here. I think this is right on par where Jack has been beating the guys. I think his next fight, we probably see him, if he gets a good victory here, I think we see him really move up and start fighting a little bit tougher guys. Like Roberts is good, but is he better than Amiv? Is he better than Pete Rodriguez? I don't know. I think he's pretty close to on par with them.
But Jack could fight like a Trinaldo.
Right. No, but next. That's when next he can really move up. I think this one, though, is right on par with the guys he's been beating, and I think he keeps beating them. I think they're doing it right here. They're bringing this kid up nice and slow. They don't always want to bring all the guys into the fire like Hamzat wanted number 1 right away. Some of these guys need a little more time. They're younger. They're developing.
Hamzat wants to fight Pereira right now.
No, he wants to fight everyone. He calls out everyone.
And honestly, I think he's a really bad matchup for Pereira.
Very bad matchup. Very bad. I agree. But I'm going KO. Jack gets the finish here, round number 1. I think Jack is a guy we got to keep our eyes on for when he is printed. He's not printed, some guys like to call, he's printed in Panini Instant. That's not his real rookie card, man. You can buy those. It's not the same thing. We need to see him in Prism and Select and everything else like that. All right, but we'll keep our eyes on him for when he does get printed. His next fight, we'll reevaluate him. All right, women's flyweight here. Jennifer Meyer, ranked number 8, plus 155 underdog here. She's 34 years old. She's 19-9, 1 draw. Last loss to Manion Furet and Caitlin Chukagian. She's going up against Marina Moroz, who's ranked 15, minus 180 favorite here. She's 31. She's 11-3, 3-fight winning streak. She beat Agapova, Bueno Silva, and Sabina Mazo last. Tom, I think this is a massive leap up. I'm not saying she's not ready for it, but you're going from Agapova to rank number 8 in the world right now. It's a pretty big jump here to be the favorite at that. Yeah. Do you see Moroz getting it done?
And Maya's only 3 years older, which is kind of crazy too, because she has a lot more fights. You know what I mean? Maya's got what? She has 29 fights, and Moroz has 14.
Right.
So she has 15 more fights. It's basically like in those 3 years older, it'd almost be like having 5 fights a year for 3 years, in a row. But that's not the case, really. I think it's just she's been stacking up over the time for a longer like snowball effect. I agree with you here, but the women's divisions are so thin that you could really jump up. So I don't really think it's as crazy as if you go over to some of these men's division. You're not going to really see that unless your name's Alex Pahea.
Well, that's not true because
Pahea was like ba-bong, ba-bong, ba-bong.
Sugar Sean just fought the number 1 ranked guy.
True.
I mean, he wasn't even ranked. He shoots up to like the number 1 guy. That was impressive too. But
absolutely, I do agree. And you know what? He fared well.
Well, he won.
Didn't have him winning.
He won.
I didn't have him winning, but he did a hell of a performance, and he got a lot of respect from me. So that was a hell of a good performance. I think the similar thing here, like when I said to Derek Lewis and Spivak, I see that fight resulting in a finish of some sorts. This one, I see the opposite. I see whoever wins, they win by decision. That's what I'm thinking. I got to go with the vet, though. I got to go with Maya here. She's really only lost to the top-ranked fighters in recent years. But the problem is almost all her fights have been against top-ranked fighters, so almost all of them have been losses. She has a lot of losses, but they're all like Shevchenko. They're all like 2 to Chuk. She's got like these top, ranked people in the top 5 that are beating her. She's having trouble cracking that top 5, but I got to lean with Maya here by decision. But this girl, Moroz, has a 3-inch reach advantage, and she's tough and she's hungry.
Yeah.
This is opportunity for her, man. I could see it going the other way as well as a decision, but I got to go with the vet, go with Maya.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Moroz has been looking super sharp as of late. This winning streak made me want to take her and just kind of look past Maya here. I went back, though. I did the homework on this one. I watched their prior fights, and as good as she's been in steamrolling, I agree with you. I don't think she does that to Jennifer here. I think Jennifer is very big. I think she has a great chin, and I think she can hold up. I think Moroz has been just looking so much better because her wrestling and her BJJ has been looking so sharp. She's a kickboxer that now has all the tools and has been using all the tools in the ring. But I think Maya's better on the ground. So do you really want to go to the ground with Maya? She's a black belt in BJJ. We saw how she got her title shot. She went up against JJ Wood now, and she got the armbar. She's very talented. She's very tricky down there. So I don't know if you want to go to the ground with this girl unless you think your top pressure is that good, because this girl has the skills down there. I don't want to take Maya, but I think she's got to get the win here. I think you're getting plus money on her. I really like that too. This is my underdog shot on the card right here. I think Maya edges it out in the decision. I agree with you. She's pretty low on volume is where I worry about her, but I think she'll be able to do more damage to Moroz here. I think Moroz is going to be a little bit outgunned as far as strength and size and everything like that. I think if you just go back and watch the tapes, you'll really be like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, Buena Silva's a strong, big girl too, but I think Jennifer Maya's just a little bit above them. All right, that's my pick there. I'm not buying either girl, though, and neither should you. Maybe if we see a crazy win here, we can go back. We can reevaluate them on the next fight. Maybe one of them makes me change my mind. But right now, there's only a few girls you want up in the flyweight division. We all know you want the champ. She's a champ for a reason. Maybe you like Santos. We got to see what Mannion does. But we also got some really young, good girls coming up the rankings. Casey O'Neill looks young and good. Erin Blanchfield is the girl you really want to keep a close eye on here. Guys, Maya and Moroz, unless you just love them, those are not buys in my book. And they shouldn't be for you. I'm telling you, I've done the work. Don't do it. Don't buy. All right, going on to the bantamweights.
I mean, dude, I got to say it, but Blanchfield versus Meatball Molly almost looked like it wasn't even a pro fight necessarily. It was like they threw Molly in there and she just got fucking whooped.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Blanchfield is legit. Blanchfield's already saying, once they put me in with Valentina, I'm going to whoop her too. Like, her confidence level is up here. Her skill set is up here. And she's not even in her prime. She's not even in her...
She's too young.
Right.
She's too young to be in your prime.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we haven't even seen the best Blanchfield yet.
No, definitely
that girl
not.
Is
that's
a
why,
problem.
That's why you don't give her to Shevchenko yet, because Shevchenko will set her back in her training.
Possibly. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. That's my opinion. Shevchenko would set her back in her training. But hey, if you want to try somebody, try somebody in like the top 5.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, if you want to try somebody like Talia Santos, if you can't beat her, then you're not going to beat Shevchenko.
Well, I don't even know. Talia almost beat her. I think the headbutt... Listen, I'm a Valentina fan too, but Talia was... And I don't even like Talia, but she was on the verge of beating her, and then that headbutt happened, and it really messed her up. But whatever. Different topic. There is other girls for her to jump up to, though, for sure. I mean, right here. If Jennifer...
I think Lemos deserves a shot now on the title.
Different weight class, but we'll go into if Casey O'Neill comes back. She wants Casey O'Neill, but if Jennifer Maia wins right here, maybe Blanchfield fights Jennifer Maia. We don't know. There's a lot of options for her to. Yeah, there's a lot of good tests for her, and they don't have to move her up that fast, like you said. I totally agree. Don't do it to her because she could be the.
Oh, and who's the other one? Not Lemos, Mannion Ferret.
Oh yeah, but she's getting the title shot
Yes.
right very soon. She's
Yes.
looked unbelievable.
Yes.
She's a big, strong girl too.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely like Mannion. All right, let's move right on to the bantamweights. Vince Morales plus 140 dog here. He's 32 years old. He's 11-6, and his last fight was that loss to Martinez. J-Mart just getting it done. Doesn't look overly impressive, but he's been getting it done. But he beat Luis Smoka and Draco Rodriguez before that. He's going up against Miles John. Minus 165 favorite. He's 28 years old. He's 12-2, and he last lost to John Castaneda. This fight, both guys have the potential. I think Morales is a little setback. I think this fight is more for Miles John to get a pretty finish, if you ask me. But, Tom, how do you see this one playing out?
You know, Vince has got the 4-inch reach advantage. He's a little bit older, 4 years older. Miles John, again, one of these guys that you forget how young he is, only 28 years old. Vince, not crazy old either at 32. You know, it's up in there. I was leaning back and forth over who I was going to pick by decision, honestly, here. I wasn't necessarily seeing a finish. But you know what? I'm going to go with Vince, man. I'm going to go with Vince by decision here. I'm hoping he could take it.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Vince Morales. I thought he was looking good. But when you go back and rewatch him, I watched him versus Martinez. My goodness, the lumps on that kid's legs fighting against Martinez were insane. Very early on, too.
Martinez is real high end, though.
He's high end, but he's still not even like a super ranked guy or anything like that. He shows moments of greatness, and then he sets back, and then he shows moments. But that being said, I think Morales just seems a little bit slower. He seems a little weaker. He just doesn't seem as top tier yet. Where Miles Johns, he's got the power, he's got the speed, and at 28, if he can get the cardio up to par with his other attributes. This kid was a wrestler. This kid is high level, but he needs the cardio. That's what gets some of these guys, especially when you're talking about bantamweights that can go for days and put on a pace, man. I see a nice win for him right here, though. I think if he can wrestle Morales, use some heavy top pressure, not to tire himself out, not worrying about Morales probably won't tire out, but I think you have a big advantage in the wrestling, but you got to get him down and get on top of him and kind of just, I don't want to say waste time, but don't gas yourself out so quick trying to do all these big movements and everything. Make sure you can go 3 rounds. I'm taking Miles John. I think he wins by decision myself, too. And I think 3 rounds really helps him with getting more ring time, letting him get that cardio up, let him know where it needs to be when he's fighting these guys. I think that's my one issue with him. Neither guy's printed right now. We'll reevaluate them after they're printed. Guys, that's it for today's show. You only got to hit 5, and we will catch you.
Yep. Hold on one sec. You still got it rolling? We're still rolling?
We're
or
rolling.
We out?
We're rolling.
Yo, so question for you. Khamzat and his next fight. Dana says they're trying to work out Colby, and I would love to see that, man. But do you think that's going to happen, or what do you think is Khamzat's next fight?
Oh, man. I honestly think
Not that you would love to see. What do you think will happen?
I mean, I think Colby doesn't want to fight him. I think Colby's going to refuse that one, and I think he's going to get a title shot versus Leon. I think that's the move.
All right. You mean after Usman?
If Usman wants it right away. Usman is in movies now. Does he want... He seems to be getting distracted with other things in life, and he seems very content with other things in life right now. Not that he doesn't have the drive, but he's got the drive.
I thought that was already in play, though. I thought that was already in play.
It might be in play, but things happen all the time, especially when guys go into the movie scenes. He was just in with the new Black Panther. So these guys, once they go in that other world, sometimes they really like it. They're not getting hit. He already did the championship thing. Usman's already down as one of the greats, right? I mean, you can debate. No one's going to probably debate him as the greatest of all time anymore. If he would have won that fight, maybe. But he's already one of the greats of all time, right? So, how content is he? How much hunger does he have for this? We just don't know. That's my concern. I haven't seen them post that him versus Leon's there yet. And I think Hamzat gets a title shot. Maybe even sits out for a little bit for the title shot. I don't know. Him versus Kobe would be great.
Mm.
I think he beats
I'd
Kobe.
love. I would love to see Kobe versus Kamzat, man. I think Kobe is a great matchup for him. I think it'd be a good one.
All right. I mean, they're
Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there because that would be huge. Really, any of the fights that are on Kamzat's plate would be huge.
well. There's not too many guys up there that I think really deserve to even get him. He had to go beat Burns. He's sitting up at the top. I mean, he can fight just to be active because we know he likes to fight. But who deserves it? We got Leon trying to duck everyone for your boy though. Masvidal trying to say he's waiting out for a title shot. Masvidal should not even be in questions for a title shot. I know it's a money factor, but he isn't.
And then the people on Masvidal's side, a lot of people that I hear talking in his favor, not Masvidal himself, but like fans, they're trying to say Masvidal is holding out for the return of McGregor, which I don't think McGregor is going to go for that. He's going to return and he's going to have a blockbuster fight, but I don't think it's going to be against Jorge.
No, Jorge's fallen off. Jorge hasn't gotten a win. He needs to go in there and get a win. He hasn't gotten a win in a very long time.
We'll see, but either way, the question is not how much people deserve Kamzat, but how much anybody that would be like a fight that Kamzat would actually take want to fight Kamzat. Because most of them are going to be like, hey, if I fight Kamzat, this could turn out like a Tony Ferguson thing when I should have been fighting Khabib already. I decided to take this other one and it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Like Bilal. Bilal could be one.
I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, but would Bilal take it? He's probably thinking, man, I got next shot at the title.
Yeah, but I don't think he does.
He might not, but he definitely has some say in it because he knocked off Brady.
Right, but Brady didn't knock anyone off in the top world. I like Brady. Listen, I'm a fan of Brady, but he hasn't beaten any top-notch guys. Right?
That was a big win though, man, for Bilal there.
It was a big win, but the only guy he beat was Chiesa, right? Brady beats Chiesa, and let's be real, that was a 3-round fight. He was going to lose that fight if that went 4-5. And I'm a Brady guy. I like Brady. I'm a fan of Brady. I think he's...
I don't know if he was going to lose that fight,
but
I
he was gassing hard.
I do think he was going to lose. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree that he was going to lose against Leon.
You mean Bilal was going to lose against Leon?
Yes.
Oh, well, that... But I'm saying Brady versus Chiesa, I think he would have lost down. I think he would have lost versus Leon too, Bilal and Leon. But... I mean, we don't know.
We'll see. I mean, Kamzat versus Bilal could happen. Kamzat, you never even know, man, because Kamzat could jump up either one of those weight classes, so you don't really know. Like, him kind of scooting up to fight somebody in the top of the,
He is big. 100. He is big.
Oh, yeah, he's a big dude. He could easily fight. And it's actually harder for him to come down to fight Kobe if it's not a catch weight.
Right. I mean, do they?
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, they're going to give Adesanya the rematch, so... I don't see him getting Alex Pereira next, just because I think they're going to hold it out for Izzy. But you never know. You never know.
If he went up and fought Marvin, that'd be awesome. Anybody up there?
Oh, Marvin. Yeah, I mean,
that'd be a good fight, though, right?
Of course, Marvin versus anyone's a good fight. Marvin brings it, man. Marvin's only losing to like top tier guys. I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, Adesanya a couple times. Like, Marvin's incredible.
And I'm sure he's happy that if, like, Alex stays there and he can get a chance at Alex.
The crazy part is Alex is... You could tell his takedown defense, though, is getting so much better. I'm not saying guy can't take him down, but it's getting so much better. If he gets any more practice, man, he's going to be a problem even for wrestlers. He's so big. He's so strong. And we saw his cardio checks out in 5 rounds. He looks good. He looks good.
No, he did. I thought Izzy, when I went back and watched that fight, I thought that Izzy, his game plan in the 5th round, he went into kind of the mode that you said he needed not to go into, and I agreed with you, into the mode of maybe trying to get a finish. And he tried to blame it on his, potentially he had an issue with his leg. He couldn't move quite as well, which is it's definitely
he was getting leg kicked. Baheda
No,
was
I know
giving
that.
him nasty leg kicks.
I thought like he got into it a little too much. You had the fight at that point in my mind. I thought he was up 3-1, arguably.
He
You
was.
could have played
Every judge had him up 3-1 on the
You
scorecards.
could have played it a little safer, bro, in the fifth. I just thought he could have.
Baheda
I mean, the
stalked
fans
him.
gonna love it.
Yeah, he stalked him down, though. You got to give it up to Baheda. He stalked him in the fifth. He came out lively. He came out looking good. And he did what he was supposed to do.
When Adesanya got in trouble, I felt like that was when he tried to, like, crunch down on his mouthpiece and go for it, and that wasn't the move.
No, it's not. It's not his style anymore.
You know what I mean?
I agree. Baheda's got a good
props
chin.
to Alex, man, and props to Glover's camp, man. Even though Reyes got flatlined.
Oh man, Reyes needs to go be champ in the PFL or something like that. The UFC is just not treating him good, man. He stiffens up every time now. I feel bad for the guy. Get him out. Let him go in the PFL and become champ and make $1 million on winning the championship over there or something like that.
Yeah, or just help coaching, man. You got a championship in your camp right now. You got a belt, and Glover could get another belt. He was a really good fight against Yuri, and he's going to get another shot.
Oh, yeah.
You could have, like, 2 belts in Danbury.
Tiny gym like that, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. All right, guys, we won't hold you up anymore with our jibber jabber here.